Jim, everyone, this is day 15 as a vibe trader. Just starting the stream. Everything seems to be working well, so that's fantastic. We'll start in a second, and I will tell you what we're gonna look at today, but you can already check behind me the performances of my different trading instruments on the screen. Uh, So I will start in a second. All right. So day 15 is Vibe Trader. Well, the journey continues. Pretty interesting. The market is not really helping. As a reminder, our strategies, most of them are skewed towards long on Bitcoin. And it's kind of either down or stagnating, which is fine. It's part of what we are optimizing for. But it raises a couple of questions. One is that we are trading everything on one asset for now, which is Bitcoin. We're trading a Bitcoin, binary. So on Polymarket, up or down on the hours. We're trading Bitcoin on intraday with scalping. That's our sophisticated machine learning bot. We're trading Bitcoin on trading strategies, technical analysis that are optimized for a 2 weeks, 3 weeks resolve time for each trade. So very large stop loss take profit, mostly long. We're trading a little bit of Ethereum, but based on Bitcoin and just trying to benefit from the higher volatility on Ethereum, but based on the fact that it's highly correlated to Bitcoin. And we're trading Bitcoin as a day trading, with quant and opening position back and forth. GMP Talk in the chat. I can see you. It's great. I'm reading the chat right now. If you guys are here in the chat, say hi. If you have any question, send them. I'm really happy to interact. But yeah, so as I was saying, there's good and bad into trading a single asset, even if it's across multiple trading venues. Well, the thing is that it's kind of correlated if the asset is either tough to reach, changing market regimes a lot, highly unpredictable, or acting differently in the current market than it was for the time you back tested. Well, you may have a bigger issue on the overall portfolio. So that's something that I'm experiencing right now, and that also tells me that what's going to be more interesting is when I start to trade more assets, not necessarily only Bitcoin or even crypto, but when I'm going to start to trade like metals like gold, silver, or add stocks as well into the equation, and then have a really diversified portfolio. So I want to try that, and I will at some point. So you'll see me deploy trading system on different assets. But I'm curious. I'm thinking to myself, is it better to specialize in one asset, Bitcoin, for instance, which is highly depending on technical indicators, or spread across several in order to hedge? So it's a debate. I don't know, actually. I don't have the answer. I'll just test and experiment. My first bet is that if you trade only the same asset, right, the same asset class, you're gonna become very good at knowing this asset class better than anyone else, knowing this asset better than anyone else. And so ultimately you may beat the market because you just know better. And I assume that a lot of traders, they are specializing in certain asset class, in certain markets. Some are doing foreign exchanges, some are doing stocks, some are doing options, some are doing different stuff. And so is it smarter to optimize into one asset? Probably if you have little knowledge and smart portfolio, I would assume yes. And why would you go multi-asset? Then multi-asset, I guess it's more like hedge fund, or trying to pivot and rotate. That I think that can also work on small portfolio. I think the main difference is that you need a system that is able to um, filter trades. So you only take really, really, really good trades. That right now in my system, I take a lot of trades, a lot of volume, because I'm on single asset, which is Bitcoin. So I'm trying to optimize. Every time there is a model that triggers a signal that is good enough, then it's going to take the trades. But the reality is probably like you can have the same system where you optimize like for very, very good trades, but they're going to be much, much more rare. And so if they're more rare on one asset, if you support more assets, then you only enter super good trades on multiple assets, and then you have a better use of your capital. So that's kind of something I think we'll experiment with time. But yeah, that was my first reflection from last time. But yeah, if we look at the performance overall today, if you look at what we have, May 26th, almost no change in the last 5 days of our portfolio, minus 0.7%. Multiple instruments are a little bit down, but it's pretty small, I'd say. Two things are pretty notable or interesting. Number one is my machine learning bot based on technical analysis on Polymarket binary, this one, which was performing super well over time, and then that did terrible in the last 2 weeks. Like it's because I hadn't put limits and I hadn't retrained the model. I paused it for now. I paused it for two reasons. One, there was a rumors that Polymarket was hacked, so no question asked, I just withdrew the funds, and so I didn't send them back because I kind of paused the model, and I think I'm going to retrain it a little bit differently, and I intend to do that on stream with you guys. So I'll show you exactly how I'm going to retrain this model and redeploy it, so anybody can see. I think I'll probably do it in a next stream. Having a look at the chat. So hi workflow, G1 April, and hello Miprox. Super happy to see you guys in there. So yeah, coming back. So I will retrain and deploy this model that was doing super well. It started at 1K, went up to 3K, and now it went down to 1,300. So overall, it's profitable, but had bad drawdowns, and lessons learned. We're going to improve it. The second one, which is interesting, is the other Polymarket bot, which is still running. I didn't pause it because the amount was like $80, $100, so very, very tiny. So I didn't withdraw. I just let it go. And ironically, it's always the instruments where you have the smallest amount that win the best. Trading is playing games with you. But yeah, this one is performing pretty well, right? It's up 42% since May 21st, and it's actually up 60% since we started on May 11th. So if I had sized it similar to everything else, so about $1,500 on average, it would be up almost like $1,000. And so the whole portfolio will be in really good shape. Why I didn't size it as much? That's a good question. And actually, the answer is pretty simple. I was too lazy to rebalance it, but I should have. So I am probably going to rebalance it, but I'm also going to check because the performance, it went really well, very, very good win streak. But in my model, it should not work so well over time. So the variance is gonna, the edge is gonna come back to reality, and I think performance are gonna slow down a bit. Reading a chat question right now from Miprox. Can I have access to the Polymarket bot? I'll be glad to throw a couple of dollars in to see how it works. Very interested. So do you want the one that lose money, or do you want the one that wins money? Which bot, Miprox, do you want to try? But yeah, I will. So for the Polymarket bots, the thing is the challenge is the following. It's not super friendly to deploy trading infrastructure on Polymarket because Polymarket infrastructure is A, really bad, B, changes very often and have a lot of bugs, and C, they have very big trading fees. Very big trading fees, especially on crypto markets. They are treating us in a very bad way. Let's put it that way. So I will personally, I'm waiting, for the Hyperliquid to deploy their binary markets on Bitcoin 1 hour. You know, which is what we're trading on the binary options market. We're trading binary options on Bitcoin every hour. And so I think it's a company called Outcome that is deploying these markets. I think they only have daily markets for Bitcoin right now. But as soon as they will have binary for 1 hour, well, I expect that 2 days later, we will support them on Quant. So you'll be able to deploy a bot on a binary bot on Quant for this on live trading. So yeah, gquant, Mr. Mikhailov, I guess, if I pronounce correctly, Mikhailov. Gquant. So yeah, and when we do that, I will show you as well how to select and deploy these binary option bots on Hyperliquid. It will be super easy and super fun. But yeah, and so I guess what will happen is essentially when they release that, I'll make a stream. I'll show you how I train it, select it, deploy it directly on Quant, and it should not take more than 10 minutes. And so I think it'll be fun. Okay. So yeah, before I continue, let me tell you. So I'm gonna quickly finish the performance review of all the trading bots, and I'm gonna show you a new feature that we released on Quant, which is super cool. I think it's really a first new step into something much bigger that I'm excited about, and I'm gonna show you soon. So that's one, and then I can answer a question. I can share my thoughts on a couple topics. But yeah, let's finish the performance review. So we checked the two binary option market. The rest is almost flat. My manual trading with Quant is it's pretty flat. I didn't do a lot of volume for a couple of reasons. I'm still stuck in positions that are supposed to resolve at 2 weeks time frame. So they're still in the range. So I'm not touching it. It's like a lot of them are actually all of them are at loss right now, but it was already the same as they were before. So it didn't change a lot. My quant trading agent that I deployed on day 3 of the stream, it's the same. This one is for the long run. So I expect profit over time, like 3-6 months is going to be up. But in the 1-2 months that are coming, I don't know. And it really doesn't matter because that's not what it's optimized for. And then, my 3 bots on Hyperliquid, same. This one, the one that has 100% win rate over 6 trades, that was up almost 2x. Still down, but it's still within its range, and it's not really moving as much. But this one's for the long run, so it doesn't really matter. This one, which is it's basically it's using the agents for that we have the prediction agent, the binary option agent that we have in the quant arena. They predict long or short every hour or every 24 hours, and it uses them to make some trades on Ethereum using the Bitcoin directional, but trading on Ethereum, because Ethereum is very connected to Bitcoin. It just has more volatility. So then, if you know the direction of Bitcoin, theoretically, in many cases, you can trade Ethereum, and you'll just have a bigger move. And so, for trading, that's just more profitability, because you have it goes more in the direction that you think. So it's going to make more money, especially after fees. And so this one is not doing so well, and I'm probably gonna change it as well. And I'm gonna use the new features that I'm gonna show you very soon. And the last one, which is my most sophisticated one, still very, very, very good. Up like $300. So almost 20-25% since 2 weeks. Trading like scalping, very sophisticated one. This one, I can show you. So essentially, it started here before it was something else, and as you can see, it's still doing really well. It's up $300. It did a lot of trades. Again, it managed to scalp, so it does multiple trades a day. It catches the momentum, locks in the gains, and reduces the loss when the events goes in the other direction. And so this one I'm pretty confident. I'm betting a lot on each one, which is 100% equity at 5x leverage, which is quite risky. So some big drawdowns will happen. But yeah, I'm curious to see how this one will evolve over time. So far, it's really good. One thing to note. So here's the thing, right? You see that on 30 days, but I've been trading this for like 15 days, actually, only 2 weeks. It did $300 profit, because we don't count that, and about 650K of volume. Almost all the volume was done there, so maybe let's say 500K. And so I paid $250 of fees, right? So I'm up $300 in 2 weeks, but if I didn't have the fees, I'll be up $500.50 in 2 weeks, which is almost like half of my profit are eaten by the fees. And Hyperliquid have high fees. Quant adds as well fees on top. That's how we monetize. But so there's a couple of things that I've been thinking as well. One is that, well, the fees we have right now on Quant, they are good for the signals we provide. The signals we provide, they are, I can show you right here. If I open Quant right now, you can see the signals. They have very, very large take profit and stop loss. They have average duration per trade of 2 weeks. So in this scenario, the fees that you pay really doesn't matter as much, right? The quality of the signal and the execution matters much more than the additional 0.05% fees that you're going to pay. But when you have scalping or day trading, the fees that we have are not good. And so first, we're gonna change the fee structure based on multiple things. One is, the kind of trades that you do. If you do scalping, we're gonna reduce the fees. But also, if you have more volumes on your account, you're gonna reduce the fees. So that's gonna be quant fees that reduce. But there's also, Hyperliquid that are like the fees are pretty high. So we have projects to integrate other venues just so users can decide where they want to execute the trade, and it's gonna be easy. You can toggle. But because some exchanges have lower fees, and lower fees doesn't always come with better execution. If you trade with size, you may have spread, you may have execution issues. So you may still want to pay the higher fees on Hyperliquid because it's worth it, and it is to some extent. But if you're trading very small size and you want to do scalping, it might not be the best venue. So we're in talks with many tier one other perp decks and exchanges, and we may offer multiple venues just for users to decide what they want to do, right? Understand what fees they pay, and then they will also see the difference when they execute. If they want to be executing on this venue or this venue, if they want, maybe some venues will have points farming or whatever if they want to benefit from that as well. So yeah, that's something that also is quite interesting. The fees. But yeah, so this one is very sophisticated, and I want to integrate that into Quant, this level of sophistication, so you can do day trading and scalping and be profitable even with like fees and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of the review of the performance of the all different trading instruments. Now I'm gonna go on the platform, Quant.gg, which I'm the founder of, where I'm basically developing the tools that I'm using on my own, so you can use them too. And so we released a new page, new feature called Edge, right? myquant.gg/edge. And so what it does, it basically uses all the prediction agents, binary options agents we have from the arena, where we have hundreds of agents. I'm going to show you right now here that predict the price of Bitcoin. I mean, not the price. It predicts the direction of Bitcoin for the next 24 hours or for the next hours. And we've been running that for 100, a lot of predictions for 1 hour, for instance. And if you use all of this prediction, you can build models. I've told you about them. So before we dive into that, there are a couple of caveats that I'm going to give you. Number one, this page is not yet. It's buggy. There are some issues. Number two, the data you have here is to be treated with caution, a lot of caution. Why? Number one, we need to refine and do some checks. Number two, the data set is too small. We only have 100 plus days, so only certain market regime and stuff. And number three, we are what we call overfitting. So overfitting is what? We deploy machine learning models on all the data we have, and basically our models are over optimizing to find the best scenarios, the best setups for trades that only happen in our data set. And so when they reproduce in reality, our models say, oh, this setup just reproduced right now, but actually the performance will not continue because it was just so unlikely, but it did find them into our database. And that's one of the issues when you do machine learning models. It's overfitting, right? And so that's why there is some truth in all our results, but for all the reasons I mentioned, it has to be treated with caution so far. So we're going to refine them, improve them, and it's a little bit buggy, but you'll understand. So what you see here is basically, and it's not the case right now, but every hour we are going to give you, based on all our machine learning and prediction models and meta models, a prediction on Bitcoin. If it's we predict long or short for the next 1 hour, or the next 4 hours, and for the next 24 hours. And you're going to see a lot of data in all these boxes. So what you're going to see first is the win rate of this prediction based on all the models we train. So for instance, we have much better win rate on 24 hours prediction than 4-hour predictions and 1-hour predictions. So the shorter the time frame, the worse our accuracy. For many reasons, but essentially, yeah, it seems to be easier to predict prices on a longer time frame, because the signals, the indicators have the time to actually translate into price action. When 1 hour, it's really can go either way is much quicker. So you're gonna see the prediction that is ongoing, the win rate from the model, the average moves. On average, we predict 53.7% of the time correct with this model, and the average moves is plus 0.05% in the direction that is predicted. The confidence score, which is another machine learning scoring model based on all the different trade setups we have, the amount of trade that we're training the model to arrive to that conclusion, et cetera, et cetera. And actually, on each one we have, so that is the win rate on the overall data set. But every hour we use different models, and each of these models, they have their own win rate. So how can I explain it without confusing everybody? It's more like if you trade all of these signals that have a confidence score, in this range, like 50, between 50 and 60 or something like that, if you trade all of them, you're going to have 53.7% accuracy. And this one has 59 confidence score, so you have this accuracy overall. But this specific signal is based on another model that is trained on 3,000 trades, so even more, and it has 54.3% like win rate. So it's a little bit better. And if you check the previous ones, well, I think most of them here have the same kind of model. But yeah, look at here. So I went back to May 26, 1 a.m. UTC. It was long. It was actually correct. So we predicted well. And it has 53.7% accuracy because the confidence score here is 56, right? But it was trained on a model that, a specific one that only identified 122 trades. So it only identified 122 times where it said you should trade out of 3,000 approximately, which is our old data set. And out of these 122 samples, when you triggered this specific long here, it had 65% win rate. So a much better win rate than the overall things. But because the sample is too small, we cannot really trust the accuracy so much. So we still put it here for you to review, but we temper it. We temper it with our machine learning models at scoring things on the long trail, right? So that's kind of one thing. And so yeah, so you can also view on the 4 hours and on the 24 hours. What's interesting is not just the prediction that you have here, but it's also the data that we show you, and you can see about all the models we have, right? And so here you have different filters that you can use. So right now I'm having the data on the 24 hours prediction, so these ones. And I'm putting the confidence filter to all, so I'm not filtering by any confidence. And I'm doing on the old data set. And out of 2,056 trades resolved, if you did pick our best pick, so this one, if you traded all of the one we offered, all of them, you'd have 56.6% win rate with an average move of 0.26% in the direction. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But where it gets interesting is then when you start to look through filterings. Oh, before I do the filter, I'm going to show you here what it is. So here it shows you for the whole period started February 27, how all the best picks we did. So you have 24 picks a day, because every hour we give you a prediction of what's going to happen next 24 hours. So it's like a rolling 24 hours, right? And so you see each time the amount of long and shorts you have every day. And here you have the daily win rate. So you see how if you took all the 24-hour predictions on the whole period for all confidence score and you traded all of them, that is the win rate it had over time, averaging 56.6% with a move of plus 0.26% in the direction we predicted. So if it's short, it's minus 0.26, of course, but it's like in the direction where you win. You have this whole win rate. And then we also show you the outcome strip, so you can see the last 120 picks, the results. So yeah, again, there's still a couple of bugs, but the data is mostly correct, but there's still a couple of UI bugs. Anyway, so you can see the past 10, you had 40% win rate on the past 10, and 59% win rate on the past 100 predictions. You can also see the type of setup. So as I told you, we have multiple models that we use, and every hour we just show you the best one amongst all of them that is scored by our meta machine learning model. So we have a machine learning model, a selective machine learning model, a counter trades model, a single agent, meta model, and a crowd model. So all of them are based on the prediction agent in the database. And when we assemble, they all give you predictions, and then we filter all of them. And then you have something pretty cool, which is the edge hour. So it tells you that if you traded the signal at which hour, a specific hour in the day, like 1 a.m. UTC, 2 a.m. UTC, whatever, what is the win rate exactly? Because the hours you trade impact your performances. Some are easier to predict. So for instance, this one, 2 p.m. UTC, out of 85 picks, and then you have 68% win rate. So it's just much better than at at 3 p.m. UTC, where you have 49% win rate. Anyway, so that's quite very, very interesting. And so now going back, so you might say, okay, that's pretty cool, but if I'm going to trade at 56.6 win rate for 24-hour outcome plus your 26% move, I'm going to be profitable over time. That's great, but it's not a great edge, and it's almost like a conflict. That's why you can actually use our system, which is very powerful, which is a confidence filter. And if you say, okay, I'm gonna only trade, I'm only curious with the trade setup that are scored at 60 plus, so above 60 confidence score. This one has 83, for instance, above 60, and you see, well, it filtered a little bit of trades, but not much, and the win rate improved a little bit, but the average move size improved almost like 0.1%, right? So it's 30-40% more. So this just cut really terrible trades. So that's already pretty good. And you still have a lot of trades. Now, if you look at the 70 plus, then you cut more trades, your win rate go to 61%, and your average move is up to 0.51%, which is starting to be very interesting. And then if you go into the 80%, 80 plus confidence score, I think that's where things are very interesting. So you cut trades by half, or even more than half. So you only have trades, I don't know, 5, 10, I mean, basically like between 10 and 12 trades per day. And so but you have a much better win rate, 74.7%, with average move of 1.05%, right? So that's if you traded every single trade that we offered you there on the 24-hour prediction at a 80 plus confidence score. Again, take with a grain of salt, non-financial advice. The data is not complete and to be trusted as is. We need refining, we need more data, and there is overfitting issues. So all of this performance, you should really consider that they will be much lower on reality. But it still gives you an indication on the capacity. And so so that's super exciting. So you can see here that on 24 hours, 80 plus, all the trades it would have given you the daily win rate. You can see the outcome stream. So for instance, on the last 100, you're gonna have 68% win rate, but on the last 10, only 30%, right? So it still can have bad variance. You can still trade it and enter a bad variance state. But on the overall, it's interesting. You also have the edge hour to even try to increase the performances over time, right? It's so you can filter, and then you have 90 plus, but 90 plus you have very, very few trades. So I wouldn't trust. The sample is quite small, and so you can do the same. So that was for 24 hours prediction, but you can do for the 4 hours and also check, with the filters how they add, like better accuracy, better moves. You can see the evolution of the win rate and the past. And you can do for the 1 hour as well. The 1 hour is actually, we don't have trades above 70 plus almost. It's all either like all or 60 plus. So this one is, we're going to improve it and try to refine the results. And this is basically a first step, into trying to give an edge or another type of signals, because all the signals of quant here, they are based on a lot of data, back-tested trading strategies, right? So it's only technical analysis, indicators, robust, traded for a very long time by a lot of people. We have very, very, very long period of testing. Here is almost 10 years of data, because it's 4 hours candles, 4 hour time frames, and we have 1,180 trades. So we can really trust this data much more than what we're building now, which is very experimental, but it's another kind of signal. It's another kind of way to generate signal that we are, studying, which is a swarm of AI agents that are predicting not the price precisely, but direction. They're giving directional bias, and combined together, you are able to find some interesting data points. And so it's not AI trading on its own. It's a multiple AI. It's 150 agents that together help us define something statistically. All of these probabilistic models giving their probabilistic output combined together with machine learning model and so on and so forth can give a statistical output we can use as an edge to exploit inefficiencies in the market. So that's also why we specialize on Bitcoin right now, because we're deploying all our infra and all our tech on that, right? And so yeah, the goal is to not only improve these models and give you better stats than this, even though, if this is true, this is just insane. And of course, it's not true. It's not going to replicate as is. It is not. It's not, again, financial advice. There is a lot of flaws in the data and like a lot of overfitting. But if you had something like that, it would be incredible. But yeah, so and the end game is ultimately to mix this data, which is based on AI swarm agents. You use it, plus you use technical indicators. You crunch all of those into a meta machine learning model, and then you have something even better, which is my most sophisticated bot, the one that performs really well. It actually crunches all of this data. And so that's the end goal, to make that available to everyone, not using one model, but everyone, using our platform can build their own, train their own, deploy whatever they want based on their findings. And so, yeah, I'm very excited. That's obviously super cool. We're going to show you more data and how we can soon. I mean, I hope that by end of week or next week, this page will be finalized and more trustworthy and more data, and you'll be able to trade these signals into quant. So they will pop here or on the website, and you will see like, oh, this is technical analysis. I mean, TA trading strategies, signal, or this is quant AI based signal or stuff like that. And so you'll be able to differentiate and trade as you want. And so this one are also exciting because it's basically day trading, right? So you're trading them every day. So you don't have to wait for 2 weeks, right? The outcome resolves much sooner. So that's why it's interesting. Okay, so that's basically where we are on the edge and how we're going to incorporate it. There's a lot of other things, we're doing, or I love to share. I think. So again, I'm sharing a lot about the platform, like Quant, which is what I'm building. But in the comments or if you watch this video later on YouTube or whatever, leave in the comments if you think you would like to see something else. You would like to show you exactly how I use Cursor to get some data, call some libraries, deploy some machine learning model, view the backtest data, and then deploy it. So something more custom that you can do on your own. I'm very happy to do it and share the knowledge as well. I'm building these tools so it's easier for everybody to do. So you just have to, benefit from the signal, the model, and you can play around the data. But if you want this kind of granularity and complexity, I'm happy to share as well. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of stuff. I'd like to show you more. A lot more coming next. Hopefully, portfolio will go up as well. At least at the end of the day, it's journey of a Vibe trader. Yeah, I think we'll call it a day. If you have a question in the chat, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we'll call it a day, and we'll see each other soon for the next stream and the evolution of my journey as a Vibe trader. All right, everyone, have a good one.